Hey everyone, and welcome to Laser Source, the #1 laser engraving podcast. Whether you're just getting into lasers or you're trying to level up and grow your laser business that exists already, we're going to cover all of the latest tips and tricks, new techniques, new technologies, and more, as well as getting the perspective and experience from other laser engraving professionals through interviews and hangout sessions. So if you are interested at all in laser engraving, regardless of your skill level, this is exactly the place you want to be. Every single week, we cover new topics and perspectives to make sure that you have a well-rounded understanding of what's going on in the laser world. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn, because we're going to cover a bunch of new stuff, and we're getting started right now. Hey everybody, welcome to the Laser Source podcast, the #1 podcast if you're trying to grow or scale your existing laser business, or if you're just getting into laser, this is the absolute best place for you to be. I'm joined today by Tacky.
What's up?
And Tony.
Hey yo.
And we're here. We've got a ton of stuff to cover. I've got a lot going on right now. I've got this super expensive CO2 galvan machine over here. It's just not behaving. I bought it thinking that it was going to be a fiber that does wood, and it's not. It's its own thing. Yeah, it's its own thing, man. It's its own beast. It's going to take a lot more work than I think I had initially I was prepared for, which is fine. That's okay. I'm used to being the best at everything I do, within the group of people that I know when it comes to lasers. And this has been just kind of like, I'm getting whiplash a little bit.
I'm sure it will not surprise any of our listeners that you're giving yourself too much to do again.
It's a new machine, man. So
I know it is. And I'm trying to be patient. It's just really hard. Oh, the honeymoon phase ended 5 minutes after I took it out of the box. So I even tried to open it up today.
Trying to figure it out, dude. It's okay.
I'm obsessing, dude. It's crazy, and I've got other stuff to do for the channel too. We've got just like normal episodes and things to record. I'm trying to like R&D on this thing. I've got $1,500 worth of gold sitting in front of me that a viewer sent the show, and they're looking for settings for these. I'm trying to get an episode recorded so that we can get that up for Monday. So I've got, we've got white gold, rose gold, and 10 and 14 karat yellow gold is all sitting in front of me, these like little squares. And we've got some decent settings on them, but there's still like a whole episode that needs to be recorded on that. So I have to do that too. I'm not going to blab about this stuff the whole time, but just some quick updates on just what's going on kind of behind the scenes here at the channel so that you guys know where I've been, because, it's been hectic. We got a lot going on. What are you guys working on?
Go ahead, Tony.
So websites, working on that. Got some coins I had to push out, some more coins, some cups. So between all that, a lot of work and also real work. I've been slacking a little bit. Please, nobody at my job listen to that. But it's been tight. It's been real tight. Like have to do real work and then laser work, and it's just I'm kind of glad things are not taking off as fast as I wanted to. I'm glad about that, because there was no way I was going to keep up with real work and doing this. So the weekends are probably going to be where I ramp up like all these little side jobs.
Yeah,
these SLJs are what we
It's really hard doing both when you're not in a position to be full time, because like when I started, I was just getting after it. I was trying to get every job I could possibly get, because I was instantly full time because I didn't have a job. But when you're trying to do both, it's really hard to like, where's the line between like, okay, I'm so busy now that I should just quit my job, that's a crazy thing to say, especially here in this circle. Most of the staff members that we have on the podcast on a fairly regular basis have like fairly high paying jobs. I mean, they're not working at like Target, like people.
If you can afford the lasers without a business loan, Yeah, you got to have a
Yeah.
little bit. You know, the kids
So
aren't getting fed anything but ramen and macaroni and cheese for a bit, but
Yeah,
I just can't
that's
imagine why
okay.
either of you guys, knowing what you do for a living, would ever want to quit your job and do this full
Absolute,
time.
absolutely
because
not.
corporations suck. Being your own boss can be fun.
True. That's
Yeah.
very true.
No, but and then on top of that,
It's
what throw
loaded.
a
It's a
little
loaded question.
monkey or a wrench into it, the CO2, like, damn, I like
Yeah,
it,
Tony
but
has a CO2 this week. If I'm pretty sure you didn't have it last podcast, right?
no.
So you got a tank now.
It's sitting right there, which has a lot of stuff
There
on
it
it right
is.
now.
Yeah, it
It has
does.
a ton of stuff on it because,
It's a slippery slope, guys. You get one laser and then you have
dude,
three.
It's a
did,
slippery slope, guys. You put one power tool on your laser and then you have three. It's just it fills
Oh
up like
no,
it's
the
power
yep.
tools. Uh-oh.
yeah.
You got
So
your
it's now I have to learn this thing, and all I've been doing is just testing. Like I need to get to the nitty gritty. Like Alex spent 3-4 hours with me the other day on video. He's like, dude, we're not leaving until you get going. And I'm like, he really stuck to that. Like he did not leave until I got going, which we
So we
got me
blame
going.
Tony for all the delayed content. Got
Yes.
it.
And then on top of that, my little dip switches were wrong. So we had to go back to that.
You dip switch.
The dip switch. The dip switch. Yeah. So Alex
Tickle the
wasted
taint.
2 hours.
Not wasted. Did you learn anything?
Heck yeah, I did. Shoot.
yeah. His
Okay.
machine
All right.
didn't
All right,
work
man.
when I got on the call, and it works now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it got me
You
enough.
Checks in the mail.
Not
Yeah.
wasted. Yeah. Yep.
So between that and trying to get real jobs, do the little fiber going and messing with this, dude, man. Listen to me, all right, y'all, everybody. I used to game a lot. I have not been upstairs to my game computer like in a month. I'm not even like lying. Like I've been in the garage for so damn long. It's crazy. It This is how long I've been in the garage. Every time I go to my house, inside of my house where it's a little cooler, I am cold at like 75 because it's so hot in here. Like this is how climatized like I'm in the garage now. So it could tell you like time is very valuable. Like I really now at this point I have to like think, should I go and check out this new game that came out or should I come out here? I'm out here and I have to do
Priorities, man.
websites and it's crazy,
Yep.
man. It's crazy. Like time is valuable and I didn't know it until I'm doing all this stuff. So
That's true, especially when you're a gamer. Time
Dude,
just disappears, dude.
I'm
You're like,
100%
I gotta get my weekly raids in. But man, I gotta go burn some coins.
Destiny
too.
2, yeah, weekly
Yeah.
raid. Every Tuesday it resets, you got a raid. So
Yep.
time. No
Cool,
time.
man. Well, how's it going? I mean, do you have any more questions, or is it just smooth sailing at this point, or?
No, it is not. With the CO2, it is not smooth sailing for me because I just got it and it's just so much. Like when I first got the fiber, you get the fiber and you're like, oh my God, there's so much stuff. Now it's back to that. Like I've got the fiber. I'm very comfortable with the fiber. I can engrave something and look at it and say, okay, I can change this to make it look this. With this thing now, it's just like, what am I doing? Like I'm trying to shift C or C to center stuff, and Ali's like, no, dude, it doesn't work like that. So there's a lot of things that I need to learn that I haven't, like I don't have time for it. Like I'll jump on it for a little bit, but then I'll get off because I have to like somebody sent me coins. I got to do coins and this and that, and then I'll jump back on it. So time is very minimal now, and
But
learning this. So
but the time that you have, you said you're getting jobs, and what, a week ago, 2 weeks, you didn't have jobs from people, so it's
nothing.
coming. And
It
I mean,
is.
time's valuable, and you're focused on. I mean, but you're starting a lasering business, and now you're saying, I have jobs, I have to be working on this. So your perspective has changed a good bit since we
Yes.
started this podcast. Which, I mean, congrats, man, good on you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, time is very, very like valuable at this point, especially when someone sends me, "Hey, I need 4 Yetis," and Yetis are not cheap. So I like today. I'm gonna go to a place here, the domain, pick up 4 Yetis and do them. Like I don't have don't have the time to like mess around anymore. I have to like put out, and this is going to an actual person on the other side, like legit. Like this person's gonna walk around their job with it, or they're gonna gift it. So this is like real now. So it's I need to really really check the time and just value my time now. So
Yeah, man.
It's
Absolutely.
the hardest aspect of what I do on a daily basis. Just making sure that things get the appropriate amount of time.
because sometimes you only have one shot at it. Yeti is
One
a fairly
opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeti is a fairly common cup, but it's expensive. But again, it preps me for, let's say there's one guy that wants to send me a Rolex. It's like you just can't go to Walmart and buy a Rolex if you mess it up. So it's like these little jobs are cool to prep you for things that you do, like gold. Like I just can't just buy a thing of gold from Walmart
Me neither.
or
This came from a viewer. Relax yourself. It
so.
didn't pay for
But you see what
this.
I'm saying? But like things
Yeah,
Buying
like that
gold from
come up.
Walmart. You trying to
So
yeah.
flex?
it's yeah, man. The craft that you do, Alex, the years you can tell like it's there, and
The real skill is the time management, man. That's that's the hardest
yeah,
part about it. We operate the shop here full time. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and then we've got the YouTube channel that needs attention. We've got the podcast that needs attention, and then we've got like R&D for those things that needs attention. The Discord community needs attention. Those people need support. I've got like again all this gold is sitting in front of me. Like after the podcast is recorded, I have to go shoot an episode on this. It
yeah,
just
it's a lot.
the time just evaporates into nothing like very 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 quickly. It's a lot for sure.
Fortunately, I'm figuring that out. Like I got friends on other discords and they're in real life hitting me up like, bro, do you even have a computer anymore? I'm like, dude, yes, I legit don't have time. Like it's just,
Where did he
I'm sorry.
go?
Yeah, I can't
Mm.
game anymore. Like, oh well, I see you on Discord all the time, but I get that. But I'm not actually gaming, dude. Like I'm actually doing stuff, and they're like, but I mean, when you get it, don't you get it? Like, I understand that, but every material is different. You
Yep.
just have to just try things. Like you just can't like one thing and it's set and done. No, you have to. Like an example, these JPP cups. One setting might work for 3 cups, but not for the 10 that I ordered. Like it's just there's a lot of looking. Okay, that worked. Well, let me adjust this. So there is a lot of scrapbooking and writing down and chicken scratching and just there's a lot of note taking. And a lot of people think, well, I got Alex settings and that's it. I'm gone. Good luck with that. Just because you get the settings, and it's a good thing. It's a very solid base to start with. You have to keep up with these settings. Like it's just not like end all be all. You have to
Mm.
mess with those settings
One
because
thing
his
too
30
that
watt is
like
different than the 50.
I think has been really helpful is like I've been trying to block time. So like Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, when the shop is open and customers can walk in, that's when I work on my customer orders. I know it's different for you guys because you operate on the weekends, but the point is you can block time. So like
Mm-hmm.
you could say like Saturday from like 7 in the morning until 2 p.m. Customer projects, and then 2 p.m. to like 8 or whatever on Saturday. I'm gonna do like
Mhm.
R&D and try to develop new settings and like stick to that. Like I'm not doing any customer jobs today. I on a very rare occasion when I get big industrial or commercial clients, I'll come in on the weekend and do those jobs on the weekend instead. But for the most part, I really try to keep like work to like business hours, and then on the weekends we're filming new episodes, we're trying new settings, and I'll block time for that. We have time we block for the podcast, and that time is just for the podcast, and that's all we do during that time. The more you stick to those time blocks, I think that you'll feel like you have a little more time rather than just trying to hectically do everything at once or
At
bounce
once.
between
Yep.
them or multitasking. I don't believe in multitasking. I think multitasking is stupid. I think you should pick one thing and give it 100% of your effort for less time, and then move to another thing and give it 100% of your effort. I think you'll get better results that way. That's just me.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never been a multitasker. I'm not good at it. And I think I get better results when I just give one thing 100% of my focus, even if it means that I have to do it for a shorter amount of time and come back to it later so that I can move on to the next thing I'm giving 100% focus to. Then I get better results, and I get results faster because my brain isn't split up trying to be
Mm-hmm.
3 places at once.
Real quick, speaking of focus, Tony, does he look a little bit out of focus to you? or
Hey,
are
my,
my eyes just going bad?
Oh,
I can't tell. My
see,
preview is
Just
so.
there we
a
go.
little
There we
bit.
go.
Yeah, that's it. All
Yeah.
right, that was
My
bothering me.
preview
Okay,
window is so small. All right,
but yeah,
cool.
focus in line with that. Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
but as you can tell, like this podcast, I think is going to be more of like when shit gets real type of, because it's it's not, we're not really laser focused on a topic today, but like you can see for those that just starting what we did, you can see the track that me, Taki and I have been through. Like it's, we're playing around and now it's getting a little serious, and then it's just, you can see the evolution because I was already there pretty much.
Well, that's
So
that's awesome for them too. I think that's a really
yeah,
unique perspective, and you can't get that anywhere else
Mhm.
online right now, no matter where you
this is
look.
real. This is not
You
us
can
like
go,
scripting anything.
yeah, you can go back all the way to the very first episode. You were still brand new at that point,
Dude, yeah,
and you had just opened that freaking box, dude. And
literally.
Tacky too had just
Yep.
opened his
No
fiber
different.
laser. And so to be able to come back every week and kind of do these little check-ins, even on weeks when we have special guests, and we have some cool ones coming up, by the
Oh,
way.
dude, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to
Uh,
mention names, man.
yep.
We
Nope.
need
We won't. We
the
won't
person
spoil
that
it.
I'm
But
recommending. We need to have him, like 100%,
we have some very cool people coming up as guests
dude.
on the podcast. But even on those
Oh,
episodes, being able to just take a few minutes at the beginning and check in, to see how that journey is going, I just that perspective that we offer, I think is really exciting for people to be able to tune in and listen to. So.
it's getting real, y'all. It for real, like because there's not just, oh well, I just grab what the hell ever and just engrave it.
And I think it'll
Um,
be interesting to see, a year from now, the
mhm,
kind of stuff that we're doing, because every day I see someone coming in the Discord server, hey, ordered a laser, here to check stuff out, or in
mhm.
Facebook groups, people just, I mean, the lasers are selling, they're coming over from China. Um, I'm really curious to see that growth. And right now, there's plenty to go around, and it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see where things end up.
it's it's you can definitely see our evolution as we move throughout, like just the podcast. And
I think a lot of those new lasers that are coming over, I think half of them will probably get tossed in a corner at some point and collect dust,
Oh,
like I
sure,
did with my
sure.
Cricut.
Yeah,
yeah,
they won't be able to keep up with the hobby, or they can't figure the settings out. Um, it's just inevitable. You get something because you think you're interested, and you get rid of it. From a technical background, like I love the idea of lasers and what they do and the technology that's come from it. So I'm here to stay. Whether or not I make any money off of it is, I
hmm
mean, yeah, there's gonna be dust on it, but I'm gonna knock the dust off and get some pew pews down.
yeah. I mean, if you're thinking about just getting a laser, it's not plug and play. If you ever think that, it's really not. Two cups might not engrave the same. Like I'm gonna be that frank, honest guy. You can have your settings dialed in. I'm sorry, I don't think two cups will literally engrave the same. I mean, it might, but for me, I can tell, like, okay, yeah, this is not, because everybody paints different.
Mhm.
Not everybody has that steady hand. So this
But
is
if you want a good head
fiber
start on those settings, you guys can check out the Patreon.
Patreon.
Alex
Yep,
has got a huge library, CO2 fiber laser, and very soon the CO2 Galvo. He's going to have some
Galvo.
parameters for you
Yeah.
guys if you're
I
So,
looking
already
into
have.
doing
I've added my first two to my parameter library on
whoa,
that.
getting a Galvo.
Yep,
There you go.
we have a
First two
setting for
settings.
Johnson's Plastics plus Romark, and we have a setting for Pine Wood. So they're coming along. But yeah,
It,
the Patreon supports not only the podcast but also the YouTube channel where we show people how to actually do this kind of stuff, and it also supports our Discord community, which takes a lot of effort to manage. So that definitely check that out. You can find out more about that. There's a link in the description, or you can visit us at patreon.com/laser everything if you want to contribute.
go.
We're
so,
going. So
but yeah. So like we were saying earlier, it's, you get a fiber. It's not plug and play. It's literally, you have to put in the time. Like it just, there's no way around it. There's no magic setting. You just have to. engrave
if
every day. Even
if
though
you're
you get the base
buying,
from Alex and everything, it's still not plug and play. And Alex also updates his settings. So if he finds a new something that works a little better, he'll update that. So you can get the settings all day, but you still have to, keep up with the updates and just
yeah.
try. That's all.
I hope that anyone who, if you haven't bought a laser and you're listening to all these episodes in your journey of potentially starting up a business or just getting into it as a hobby, do not go into this thinking that you are going to be sold a complete solution that you can just click a few buttons and get the
Mm-mm.
results you want. If someone is telling
Absolutely
you
not.
that, they're selling you a lie. And it's just like 3D printing. It's a tinkerer's hobby.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
want the support where you're basically just getting something um, done without really a lot of effort, you're going to be paying thousands of dollars for a piece of equipment that you're going to get support for. You're paying for the support.
Yeah.
We all
Tens
have
of thousands,
Yeah.
we
like
have
like just sub
budget.
100,000.
Yes. So just consider that if you're spending less than $10,000 for any of these lasers, you are your own support. If something breaks, the manufacturer may or may not get back to you. But because you're getting a Chinese laser, you're not paying for something US or European. You are your own support. The community here is your support, but you're going to have to do a lot of the footwork yourself. And for
Yeah.
most of us, it's fun. It can be frustrating. Tony and I, we talk all the time about how frustrating a lot of this stuff is. But once
True.
you know, and we're, I'm trying to give that back in the community. So a lot of mods out there. We got some new mods this week. Great help. Ask your questions in the Discord. If you don't know and we don't know, we'll go to our laser and try to figure it out too and see what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I put files for people to test all the time. Like before this, people were testing. So I mean, we're here for that. Like
Yeah. So if you
it's
guys
like
are watching instead of listening, like just this morning, Tony and I were going over this file. Was very difficult to get good quality of. We tried different settings, trying to get his laser set up, and in the end, we ended up going with something completely different, and we got
different. Yeah.
some pretty good results. So I think at the end of the day, it's the time. You have to have the time to put in. So just remember that and be aware as you start your laser journey.
Yeah.
And I mean, and on top of that, to complicate, while we're speaking on the topic of time, some of y'all will have wives and kids. I have both of them. So you got to balance that too. And then, it's just, there's not enough time. So think about that. Think about like now when people say, oh, well, value, think about your time. I'll be the first one to say yes. Yes, I time is very important. Like I never thought I was like, oh, I can just game for 10 hours upstairs. I haven't touched my gaming computer in like a month. Like legit, I have not been up there. I have my brother
Same.
staying with me for a little bit, and he's like, "Dude, where you've been?" I'm like, "In the garage," and he stays here with me for like the past month. I haven't been
I'm in my
upstairs.
man cave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously,
don't
man.
ever let anybody tell you that starting a business too is going to mean that you get to like kick your feet up and not work, because
Nope,
I work 3 times more than I did when I worked a full-time job for somebody
nope.
else.
And
I've put in legitimate like 80-hour weeks here,
Yes.
uh, doing everything that we do. That's actually pretty par for the course. It's like 60 to 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for 2 years. And I'm still
Yeah.
not in a
And
position where I can just like put my feet up and fucking smoke a cigar. And, it's just not what
it
being a
seems like
business owner is about.
nope.
we're
And
starting to talk about the lifestyle aspect of this and trying to balance doing the work life balance. That's always important, whether you're working for yourself, you're doing this as a hobby, full-time, whatever. And anyone who owns, if you've talked to anyone who's owned a small business or a business, they're self-employed, you pay up front so much to try and get your business off the ground. And if you do, you do,
absolutely,
and you don't, you don't. I know people who they started their own businesses and 10 years later, they're like, now this is what I wanted it to be a decade ago when I started. And you get dividends. Not everyone has the same business model, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. There's too many variables, but just know that, you can reach that point where you're like, yes, I got everything I need. This is set up. I've got all these business contacts. They're sending me stuff. I've got all my settings down packed. I've got my files ready. Someone sends me a job, 5 minutes, I'm lasering it. You guys get to watch, if you're on the Patreon, you get to watch the live streams of Alex working 8, 10, 12-hour streams. Customers come in, he deals with the customers, people ask questions. He's doing it all day, every day. And he has been doing it so long that he's more or less streamlined. He's not spending extra time. He's more efficient. So as you get better, you might not be spending your entire weekend, 2 12-hour days out in the garage.
Efficiency.
Maybe it's only
That's what
4
it
or
is.
5 hours. So it'll level out, but you have to put the time in. If
The
it's
other
Efficiency.
thing
committed
too, Tony mentioned too, the work-life balance with family. Like when we decided that we were going to try to start a small business, my wife and I, like we acknowledged up front that there would be no work-life balance. It just was like a thing that I just like,
Mhm.
I just, you have to like dabble or dominate is like what they say a lot on one of my business
Yeah.
podcasts that I listen to. And like, it's totally okay if you want to dabble, but you're not going to make a full-time income doing that.
Mhm.
You're not going to support your family with your business venture doing that. You have to go hard. And even if that means
Expect what
not even necessarily quitting your full-time job, you can keep your full-time job, but when you're
You
done
just
working at your full-time job, this needs to be your other full-time job. You work
exactly.
80-hour
expect to
weeks.
get out what you put in. If you put a
Yeah.
little in, you're going to get a little out.
Yep. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, so, if you get up in the morning and you go to work at 8 and then you come home at 5 o'clock, then you're going to spend from 5 o'clock until 2 in the morning working on your business.
Yes.
If you expect to draw like a full-time work worth of revenue from it at some point, you have to treat it that way. You have to give it 100%, even if that means you're giving 200% overall, because you're giving 100% at your day job and 100% at your home job, and then you got to give 100% to your family, and you end up giving 300%, and you're exhausted and you're miserable, and that's small business. So I just like, welcome welcome to the club, because that's the way it is, man. And it's like, if you first of all, if you do this as a hobby, that's fine. Knock yourself out, have fun with your laser. But if you're trying to make a successful business out of something that can actually eventually replace working for an employer full time, there are sacrifices that are going to need to be made, and you
Yeah.
can either make them all up front by sacrificing the money you're trading for your time at a full time job by quitting, or you can make the sacrifice in the form of energy by working a full-time job when you get home from your full-time job. One of those two options, because if you don't do one of those two, you just can't physically spend enough time working on the kind of stuff that you need to perfect and streamline, like Taki was saying, to ever make any profit, any money off of what you're doing, because every job that you're going to do is going to take you 3 hours.
Yeah. You
And
can't
it's just,
charge $100 for 3 hours of your work. You can only really charge a reasonable amount for the time that's spent to do the laser.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're overcharging, and then they're going to outsource elsewhere. So you got to
yep,
get good
Yep.
at it.
yep, yep.
That's something you got to balance.
It's a decision you have to make. You know what I mean? You have to weight the priority of those things. We all only have 24 hours every day.
Dude,
Nobody has more than that. So you have to decide how you want to use them. It's hard.
it's it's definitely hard, and it starting a business is not. It takes so much, man.
Yeah. It's
It
still
takes so
fun
much.
for me. There's a lot
Yeah, it's a
like the
blast.
business aspect side. It sucks. It's got to be done if you want to do it right. You can try to dodge the tax man wherever you do you. Do it out the bed of your truck and drive away before the cops show up, kind of deal. But I'm still having fun with it, even with the challenges. I would like to
Yeah.
think that Alex is doing it and he still enjoys it as much as it can be stressful and
If I
difficult.
didn't,
But
I have a very hard policy that if I don't like doing something, I don't do it. So
good.
yeah,
Yeah. Disclaimer:
yeah,
if you're not enjoying it and you think you have to do this to make
Yeah.
money or you're making somebody happy, reconsider your goals.
Yep.
totally.
It's just like if you're working at a place and you're not really enjoying it, you're gonna quit, right? I
Even
mean,
when I was
Yeah.
before we started recording the podcast today, I was so angry with the CO2 Galvo. I literally at one point had a hammer wedged in between aluminum panels and was ripping the thing open. And like the smallest 2% of me like enjoyed that. Like if there's no love there, if you're not enjoying that, even at the height of the frustration and anger with something, like like that's
No.
probably a
Yeah.
flag.
Re-
Should probably
re-
pay
How many
attention to
people
that.
can say that they took a hammer to a precision piece of electronics? It's just like, ah.
I wasn't beating the thing, but I was definitely
I
using it as a
really
pry
wanted to.
bar.
So because you were so far back and it's dark outside of the realm of the camera, I just saw a
Yeah.
blurry version of you with the hammer. And I was like, man, I wish I could have screen capped it because you literally did the wielding. And I was like, oh man, that would
Yeah.
be great. I want to put that on a silhouette of you on a T-shirt with a hammer against a
Seriously.
split laser system. So
Yeah.
we're talking about lifestyle stuff. You guys have anything else you want to mention that might be worth knowing, or do you guys want to get into some CO2 gantry laser questions from Tony?
Oh man. Let me. I'm just trying to think because I think I'm like the youngest of when it comes to like fiber because you and Gio are pretty much like know way more. But so from my perspective, you know what I mean. Sorry I derailed you guys, man.
Get to the point, dip switch.
The goddamn dip switch. So it's. I think starting the business is just. I don't know if I just bit too much, but like doing LLCs and another thing is like some people like to work off social media. I'm not a social media guy, but I'm thankful I have my wife helping me, and I'm thankful I have my sister as well helping me. So word of mouth and Alex helped me with getting these little contacts. So it's starting to become real, and I'm kind of glad. Some people like that ramp, like, oh, I started and I want to just hammer. I'm kind of glad that didn't happen, because it gives me time to play with this thing, and it gives me time to play with more fiber things at the same time. So it's like a steady little ramp up,
Remember, you can
which is pretty
always say
cool.
no, Tony. I mean, it's better to be in a position where you can turn down jobs than you are dying for work. So you can always pull away if you have to.
Absolutely.
If something happens in your life and work, like your full time job, you can pull away and you can say, hey, the shop's closed, or hey, we were full of orders. However you want to manage it. But there's going to be times when you're going to be overwhelmed. And just remember, you can pull away. You can get the
Hmm.
help from your family and stuff too. So
Absolutely. And the thing is, I'm thankful for Taki as well. He
why?
helps
I
me
don't
a
do
lot.
shit for you, man.
No, I am thankful for the Santa and the ice cream truck. I'm thankful for everything. You know what I'm saying? Especially Taki, like Taki J Mac. Um, but Patrick as well. And Lithglow.
Just go name drop the whole Discord, man. While we're at it, let's pull up the list of 700. Well, no, we think we were at 500 and something members, which
We're at
is crazy, by
500
the
and
way.
change
Yeah,
at
I'm
this
thankful
point
for
on the
everyone,
Discord.
man. I'm just a
That's
thankful
great.
person. So hey, listen, if you're listening in the podcast and I might not know a lot, but I know a little bit about a lot about coins. Okay, so you hit me up. Oh, and hang on.
Come get your coins from Tony.
If you
Alligator.
if you have any questions about alligators, y'all, I got it. Okay, listen,
We
this
don't
He's
is
want
the
to
holding
see
up
the
answer.
a
alligator card
business
again.
card. It's the alligator
I'm
card.
thoroughly sick of seeing the alligator
Okay,
business
well,
card.
anyways, that's a derail. So no, listen. So I'm kind of grateful that jobs are not taking off like really really fast because it gives me time to okay, well, I need to knock these 10 coins or cups out, and then I can relax for a little bit. So that time
Yeah,
that
I
I
wouldn't
use to
think.
relax a little bit is when I tinker with stuff, which is going to be this
Mm.
thing now. So
Yeah, versus
Yeah.
having jobs lined up. I haven't reached out. You guys know that I'm still in the phase where Alex was a couple years back, where it's like, go to Walmart, buy everything, laser everything, take pictures of it. I'm just trying to build like a portfolio of so people when
that's what I'm doing.
I am ready to do more. I can show people what they can ask for. You can have this, or you can bring
Tacky
something
said
in.
the name of the show in the middle of a sentence.
Hey,
It was really
laser
He
amusing.
did it.
everything.
He said the
He said
thing.
laser
Yeah.
everything.
For
Got to
real, that's
laser
all it is.
everything,
You
guys.
just find shit in laser.
And
I mean,
Yeah.
but like I'm not at that point where I'm ready to reach out for work, but I was like, hey, I got a laser if you've got anything, just to people I know, not even like reaching out, social media, blah, blah, blah. Man, I've already got people who want me to do stuff. And someone was like, hey, I was going to call you up the other day and I was going to bring something over. And I was like, oh, I'm so not ready for that. but
Exactly. That's
this
how
is
I
what I
was.
this is what I want, and I'm privileged to be able to
But
say,
you're not
yeah,
ready.
I've got people who are ready to give me their money for it,
Yeah.
and
And
I
um,
that's
mean,
the thing.
I'm
I would
still a
just
little
take it, man.
apprehensive about it, but I just need to do it.
Take it.
I need to rip the
Take it.
Band-Aid off. I've got one job I'm going to do today. I'm going to get it done, and it's going to be one of those. Just like you had
Take it.
last week, Tony. It's like, hey, here's a sample of what I can do, and then if you want it, and then
Look,
it's going to
I'm gonna
happen.
show
So
you.
next week, I'm going to be like, I'm up to my balls and whatever I'm working on, axes. I'm doing some axe work. So
So like the
I
first, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tony. Nope.
No. So speaking about that, like jobs for other people. So I got cups that I make for my kids' wives and all that stuff. Little things. It looks a little jacked up. You're like, oh, I could have spaced it out a little bit better. But here's the cup. It's for my family and friends. Sorry if you're
seconds,
listening. Who
the factory
cares? Yeah.
seconds.
Now, the first job I got, official job, I legit wasted about 10 coins and I got only 6 of them. So these look good to people, right? Like these are all wasted. Like these are going in the trash. I just felt for this person, for me,
It
it
didn't
just
represent the quality of work that
it
you
didn't
want
feel.
to
I
show
didn't feel it.
people.
Look, and this is me testing. Like you can see lines and stuff that I'm doing. Look, these are all wasted. These are going in the trash. Like I have more. For one person, I've wasted, 10 coins. I redid the full job. Yes, it took
Yeah, but
2 days, but
you won't do that next time.
Yeah, and
exactly
if you're just
because
listening,
I've
Tony's holding
diligent.
up coins that don't
Yep.
look bad, but he thinks they look bad. Just so you know.
And this
Yes.
is
So.
why, so this is really important because when I started my business, and even before I started my business, and I was helping my old boss start his business doing this, um, we just said yes to everything all the time, whether we knew if we could engrave it or not.
Mhm,
And then if something got messed up, we'd replace it and we would try again, and we would use the one that we messed up to test on.
mhm.
That was our new experimental piece, and you'll be sure that by the time you finished working on that test one that you paid for, right? You paid for that now.
Mhm.
uh you were going to have a great setting for that, and then boom, you
Absolutely.
can add it to your portfolio of things that you can engrave perfectly the first time. You're going to mess stuff up. I don't think that it's the right move waiting to start your business. If all the other stars have aligned and you just don't have that much experience, I don't think that's a good reason not to start. I think you
Yeah.
should jump in.
Yeah,
This is an
that's
opinion.
fair.
This isn't a fact. It's not a fact. But if you have enough skills where you can use your machine safely, you should be accepting work, because the best way to learn, and the way that I learned how to do everything that I know how to do, you guys are coming to me asking for help, not you two specifically, but you guys are coming to me asking for help, looking for answers. The way I learned how to do everything I know how to do, I didn't take some fancy course. I didn't pay somebody for information. I didn't go training at a laser facility. I did work. People brought me jobs and I did stuff, and I fucked stuff up, and I bought new stuff for people, and I added things slowly item by item. I added things to my gigantic list of things that I can like engrave with full confidence, or mark with full confidence, or cut with full confidence. And it's taken me 7 years,
Mhm.
but I'm here and I have a massive expansive list of things that I can do. And that's the best advice I can give people. You got to just do it. Because
Yeah.
like I said, sure, Tony just wasted 6 of his brass coins, but he's never going to waste another one for this client ever again, because
Absolutely
you've
not.
got it
Mhm.
down to a tack now. You know exactly what you need to do to get perfect results for this customer. And
Yep.
that's just, that's the skill, that's the thing that you're working for, and if you don't invite those opportunities by getting work from people, and you're putting all of that on you to like go out and find the things that people will eventually ask you to engrave or not engrave, I think that process is gonna be a lot slower for you.
It is. And another thing is, like I said, I always mention coins. I love doing coins. I download when I'm looking for a coin to do, my eyes gravitate to something like that same type of something. It just always gravitates to that. And it's fun. It's fun. It is fun making coins. But when someone asks me, hey, I have this idea, can you make this? And it's just like, okay, cool. That's for something for someone. Let me make this coin, and making it for someone else is just a lot, like, I don't know. To me, it's better. It's more rewarding. So, and I put more time into it because I want to make sure everything's perfect. So Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfection.
It's
We're going to be
yeah.
chasing perfection. Chances are, what you make, people are going to love. You know what the machine's capable of better than they
Yeah.
are.
I
Just
think
be
what
okay putting it
Tony's
out there. If
I
they're
think what
not
Tony's getting
happy,
at
then
too
you know.
is I think he's saying like the customers challenge him in a way he won't challenge
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
they're forcing him to like
Yep.
look at graphics and engraving and
Mm-hmm.
formatting in a different way than he would do based on his own preferences and what he likes to see when
Oh,
he
of course.
engraves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Customer's going to want something completely different, and when he
Yeah.
opens himself up to that work, it's forcing him to
Yeah.
expand his, I
Absolutely.
guess
And
expand
that's
Like
his
yeah.
horizons.
one of the things I can think of is I think that you got an heirloom knife, right? It was like a knife that was like, hey, this has been in the family. We're putting different dates on it. And it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
you're given something. It's not just somebody picked up a Yeti cup from down at the store and they say, hey, put my daughter's name on it. This is something that you get one chance to do it right. And if you mess it up, not only do you mess it up, but you ruin what it is for
Dude.
somebody else. So
Exactly.
it'll put you outside of your comfort zone. So hopefully you won't get
And
anything like that anytime soon,
that's
Tony.
why I'm prepping for. That's what I'm
Yeah.
prepping for. I mean, it
One and
is what it
done.
is. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
prepping for
yeah. And
that.
by the way, I did not get where I am today by accepting family heirlooms and priceless, irreplaceable items and then taking a risk on it. That's the kind of stuff you say no to. If somebody says, oh, I want to engrave, 50 bamboo cutting boards, and you've never done a bamboo cutting board, that you say yes to, because that you can just find out where they ordered it and you can get them a replacement. You don't do this with people's 300-year-old urns or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you don't do, that is not the time. Use some sense, use some common sense. If somebody has
They buried
a
George Washington in this urn, and
if they
Man,
have like a 13th century saber, like, you don't say,
yeah,
dude.
well, I've
yeah.
never done that before, no time like the
Engraved my
present.
samurai sword that I got handed down from my grandfather.
I'm not
Jesus.
saying you can't do those kind of jobs. I'm just saying that's not the time
You
to
have to.
experiment and take
Oh
risks.
no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
I'm willing to
That
try.
but you
like,
should
Oh crap! I can't
experiment and
buy
take
this.
risks. Yeah,
you should,
just
but
common sense.
to
Common sense.
certain things, yeah, you need to really. This is why. This is why I think engraving and lasering in general, it's just like you have to put in time. You can't just pick up the machine, go on the internet, find a setting, and hit F2. You can, but it's just it doesn't work like that, to be honest. And again, Alex with the Patreon gives you a nice solid footing. I think it's more than a foot. Goddamn hands and feet. But you still have to play with those settings. Like there's no way you could just put it on the table and go.
You
It's
guys don't
Understand
have
what
my
they do.
machine.
They're not
You
just
guys
magic
don't
numbers
exactly.
have my
either.
machine. I have my machine. My machine is
Yeah,
sitting right here. You have your own machine. It's just the optics of nature. Light is a natural phenomenon, and we're bouncing light through different machines that were
and
built at
lenses.
different times
It's
by different factories with different tolerances, and it's just everybody's machines are going to behave differently. Even two identical machines.
mhm.
You two
Yeah,
were having this experience this morning. You guys were
yeah,
trying to
exactly.
engrave the same metal business card
Mine
with
is not
this
working.
literally the same exact machine, and you were getting different results. And that's just the nature. The
Yep.
the
I got
sure
better
the
results.
sure the
Oh,
sure the
Shots fired.
steel white finish setting that you guys were using from the Patreon got you 80% of the way there. It saved you a
Mhm.
ton of work. That last 20% is still your responsibility.
exactly,
That's still
exactly.
still you have to do that,
I
that's
just
just the way it
people
is.
need to really, if you're listening, you really need to understand that because I don't want you guys, or it wouldn't be cool if you guys just get on the Patreon, get the settings, and oh well, this ish don't work. Like it don't work. It's not made for that. It's more of you have to, like Alex said, it gets you 80% there, and then that's it. So
It's like you're trying to win a sporting game like baseball, right? And the Patreon settings take you from the soccer field to the baseball diamond so that you're
mhm.
playing the right sport. But
Right,
you still need to execute.
yeah, absolutely.
You know
So
what I mean? Like, once you're there, I get you playing the right game. Once you're playing the right game, like, you still have to play the game and
yeah,
win. That's like, and we're here to get you there too. We can not only do we offer the Patreon. I don't know why this podcast episode keeps turning into a Patreon advertisement, but not only do you get the Patreon settings, you also get the support that comes with it. Whether you're a patron or not, we support everybody in the Discord
yeah.
server.
Just
with
go in and
everything.
check.
So while you're going, after you get the Patreon settings, you're 80% of the way there. We will literally take you from 80% to 100% in the Discord if we can.
Yeah.
If we have the ability, we will take you the last mile. We'll help you get there. We do it every day. We literally do it every day. When people reach out and they ask for it, we always try to help. So
Yeah, we got people who moderate from all over the world, literally all over the world, from the UK down to Australia, United States. Not sure if we have anyone in Asia yet, but at some point of the day, there will be someone that can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
one more thing, I guess. While we will get you to 100%, it still does not take the fact away you have to put in time. There's no way that you could just log on to a place and expect someone to just give you everything and hit F2 for you. You still have to put in work. That's long story short. We'll get you there, but you also have to put in work. You have to kind of know a little bit enough to where, okay, well, in my end, I hit it. I can see that it's too much power, but your setting tells me this is the power. So I automatically know, like, okay, well, let me dial it back and see what that result is. Even though you told me 20% power, okay, cool. But I see that it's too much on my end. Let me dial it back to X or Y or whatever. So you still have to put in work. It's just, while we can get you there with what, my limited knowledge, with Alex, he knows more.
And
And
to
Taki's
put a nice
experience.
bow on everything, this is where that time requirement comes in that we were talking about earlier, with balancing your lifestyle and the amount of time that you're willing to put into this as a hobby or a business. That's the stuff that you are going to be doing with that time, and it's tedious. It's really tedious. But if you enjoy doing this kind of stuff, hopefully you enjoy it along the way. While you're doing that tedious
we
work.
help a little bit to make it less difficult, a little more efficient. Hearing from other people's perspectives who are trying to do the same thing you are.
Absolutely. And so that's about it, guys. I think we entered this episode without a clear goal for topic in mind today, just because I'm not quite done setting up our future guests. And like I said, we do have a lot of really awesome special guests coming on the show in the very near future.
Man.
But we didn't quite have that set up today. So we came into this without really having a topic. But I like where we settled. We kind of settled on like a lifestyle time management topic today. And I think that people will get a lot of value out of that. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode or watching it if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and smash the like button. It really helps with engagement. Leave us a comment. We want to hear from you. How do you manage your lifestyle? How do you manage your time commitment with your hobby or business? That's what I want to hear about in the comments. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review the show. If you haven't already, I'd really like to start reading a couple of the ratings. We have a few on there right now. So if you rate and review the show, we might read your review on the podcast next week. So
it helps.
Consider doing that as well. It really does help.
Tell us what you want to hear about there too.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Let us know what you want us to cover outside of our interview episodes, because we'll definitely chat about that some more. Otherwise, we'll just keep rambling on about the nonsense going on in our shops, because people seem to like that
week to
too.
week, there will be more.
Yep, absolutely.
It'll help if you guys go in there. It's free. Just you put a comment. If you like it, what you want to see, what you want to hear, we'll be more than happy. Like I said, we're building. If I get this correct, we're building this around for the community, for everyone. So it's not just us, like us 6 or 7. It's for everyone. So if there's a special thing that you want to hear or a question you have, we'll be more than happy to answer it and even do a topic on it. It helps us, honestly. Like, even podcasts, this is not scripted. This is just us heart to heart talking. We can't be in the same room. So
it's not like we're covering the daily news cycle here.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So,
no. It's real time stuff.
And now we're with Tony
like
on coins. What's going on in the world of coins today, Tony?
Exactly. So
it's same thing as yesterday, Jackie.
Exactly the same shit. But it helps. It helps if you guys rate. So if you rate, review, just leave a comment. It helps. It helps. It really does.
Totally. And the last thing that we will do for our call to actions today is, if we haven't talked about this enough, visit the Patreon. The Patreon supports the community server over at Discord, and the support that we try to give there. It supports the YouTube channel, where we are trying to help people step by step to figure out their machines, learn critical thinking, figure out how some of these settings work, and kind of build that laser network and community on YouTube. and it supports, obviously, the podcast, which we've been really trying to bring you every single week. When you sign up for the Patreon, you get bonus episodes. So you'll get a whole nother hour of this on top of what you've already listened to every single week. It's mostly just us goofing around. We get into serious topics sometimes, but it's really just kind of an audio visual look into our workspaces and what we're up to every week. It's a lot of fun. People have really taken to it. I think they're really enjoying the Patreon bonus content. I've gotten some really nice. I've gotten some really nice comments about it. So you get that. You get the settings, the fiber and laser parameter settings. The Galvo CO2 settings are going to be a thing really soon. You get business posts about, running your business and little shortcut files and things like that. We got all kinds of stuff on there. It's literally overflowing with just a ridiculous amount of content. So you can find out more about that at patreon.com/lasereverything. There is a link in the description. Whether you're listening or watching, you can go ahead and check that out as well. And I think that is it. Do you guys have anything else? Are we good?
We're Gucci.
Find us on Discord. You can plug us if you want, Alex. Otherwise,
yeah, sure. Well, you can plug yourselves. Where can people find you, Tacky?
I'm Polygon Printing on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Check me out. Look at my work, and if you want anything done, not yet. Don't contact me. No. Absolutely. If you see something that looks cool and you want to know how I did it, then send us a message and we'll help
you want your freaking TikTok followers. Now's your chance, buddy.
Hey,
it's gonna go viral.
Okay, Tony, you can find me at Etched Ideas on every platform. If you look it up, it'll be a bulb.
If you're on PlayStation 5, Etched Ideas.
It's a
all
bulb.
Platforms.
It's a bulb. So you can find me there.
It's Etched_ideas, right?
Etched_ideas. And it might be a space or a dot, but you'll
instructions
get the point.
Unclear.
It's very unclear, but you'll find me. You'll know when you start seeing more coins than anything else. That's me, guys. So yeah, find me there. I mean, just look at I try to do some cool little videos of what I'm doing. It's kind of tight, I think. I mean, kids and wife like it, so I'm assuming you guys would too. I don't know, but cool, find it there, man. And if you've got questions, I've had people hit me up on those platforms and they have, dude, like, I love your coins and all this other stuff. Can you help me with this? Cool. I am down. I love teaching, especially if something that I kind of know a little well. I'm down to teach. So if you got any questions, just hit me up, man. Like, literally, there's no like a paywall that, oh, well, you got to pay me this. No, absolutely freaking not, because I'm learning from these guys. So no, I'm passing it down. So there's no paywall between me and you. Just ask me.
I think the same goes for all three of us on the Discord. If you're not already on the Discord, there's a link in the description for you. And that's going to do it, guys. We are running over time here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut us off, but we will see you in the next one.
The next one.
See you later.
Peace.